Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the November 2nd edition of the Geekly News for the... Oh, I forgot 2018. 2018! We are starting off...
You know what year it is.
Hey, you know, people listening to the future might be like, it's like, November 2nd, what? November 2nd, what? 2018. We have a fantastic show for you today. My name is Brian Cambriello. His name is Mike Tessmacher.
Hey.
And we're going to be breaking down some comic book stuff, some video game stuff, specifically, Smash Brothers. Lots of cool stuff going on, but first, as always, big ups to the guys down out of Geeked Up Comics and Games, where we record every week. We like them. They sell comic books and video games.
Figures and all that geeky goodness, so come on down.
And we're here sometimes. Speaking of us, if you want to follow the guys here at Geeklirious, links are all in the description down below for the Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram, the YouTube. You can email us. You can rate us on iTunes.
Yeah.
All that good stuff.
Yeah. Get at us.
Yeah. So, if you're listening to this, our Halloween-themed episode just went up yesterday. And we apologize for being, I guess, a little late. Yeah. But we had technical issues.
Yeah, things don't upload when they're supposed to upload. Brian sucks.
I do suck.
There you go. Match made in heaven.
Yeah, it was just not great. But, it's up. So,
it's up.
You can watch our commentary of the original Halloween movie. We had a great time doing it. It's definitely a polarizing movie, I feel like. You either love it or you think it's dated, and...
Yeah, watch it along with us, because otherwise it'll probably put you to sleep. So, hey, if you're into that as well, watch it at night, help you go to sleep.
So you're saying that Halloween is like the NyQuil of scary movies?
I mean, do you remember all the deaths in that?
Yeah, there's not that many.
The choke.
The stab.
And then the stab.
The choke and then the stab, and then the choke and the stab.
And then the choke and the stab.
The choke and the stab.
Then the stab, but he missed. Until he went for the choke. So it's like, yeah.
He has a system. All right.
Yeah. So go watch that. It was fun to do that, and let us know if you guys want more.
Yeah.
So just some movies too.
We like the feedback. So speaking of feedback, we've gotten a ton of traffic on Instagram and some Twitter stuff, and we appreciate it. Every little bit helps us to get out there, and we like hearing back from the people from listening.
Yes.
So definitely follow us on the social medias and start a conversation.
Every share, an angel gets his wings.
Yeah, that's 100% truth, scientifically proven.
Yeah.
So let's just dive right into the Geekly News. So first off, this is kind of covering 2 weeks worth of news because we didn't do it last week, so this is going to be a bit, so I'm going to try to get through this as painless as possible. Alright, Ewan McGregor, better known as Obi-Wan Kenobi from the prequels, the Star Wars prequels.
AKA the only good thing from those movies.
AKA, that's the absolute truth. That and Duel of the Fates.
Yeah.
Is going to be playing the Black Mask in the Birds of Prey movie for DC.
Yeah, the Tuxedo Mask.
So that's really cool. We talked about this when it was first announced that Black Mask was going to be the villain for said movie, and I don't really know too much about him. He is essentially like a mobster, like a gangster type character.
Yeah.
And he wears a black skull mask.
Do you think he can pull it off? Because he's normally like a good character.
Yeah, I can't really remember him being a bad guy in anything. So that would be interesting to see him be a bit evil.
Do you think he's going to be one of those like anti-heroes then?
I don't think so.
No.
I think they need a strong villain, especially for a movie like that where there's multiple heroes. Anyway,
do you know Black Mask? I don't know.
No, not really. I'm not really familiar with the character. The most I know him from is the Batman Arkham games. I think he was in one or two of them.
Is he? Oh,
yeah, okay. Definitely Arkham City, I believe. Or maybe Arkham Knight.
Does he have superpowers?
I don't believe so. I literally think he's just like a gangster.
Interesting.
Scourge of the underworld, that type of thing.
Well, we do like McGregor, so that's pretty good. Always,
he's so good.
Adding good talent, so that's pretty cool.
You know what's a good movie he's in? Big Fish.
Yes.
That's a fantastic movie.
Of course.
If you haven't watched Big Fish, go watch Big Fish. It's a very good movie.
It's kind of boring, but
I wouldn't say it's boring. It's like a fairy tale fantasy film. Listen, just because it doesn't have Captain America chucking his shield around doesn't mean it's a boring movie.
Yeah, if there's no shield chucking,
All right, next up. It was announced that Netflix has hired Guillermo del Toro, one of my personal favorites,
Our personal favorites,
to do a Pinocchio movie. So I'm assuming it's going to be obviously not theater-based. It's going to be one of the Netflix originals. And I think the art and style of a Guillermo del Toro would fit in perfectly with that Pinocchio story. Like, perfect fit.
Now, is this gonna be? I wonder what type of movie, because with del Toro,
I'm hoping dark. Yeah, a dark retelling.
Not necessarily like that crappy Pinocchio horror movie.
No, oh god, no. I don't think it's gonna be a horror movie. I think it's gonna be, just kind of
just like a little dark,
unnerving. I think is a good word.
Okay.
Where it's just a little creepy, but also kind of heart of gold type of thing, almost like Shape of Water.
Okay.
Where it's like
very stylized. That I would like to see because it takes place in olden days, right? When does Pinocchio take place?
I don't know.
Early 1900s or something?
I think so. I believe so. I don't know. What I always forget is that it's Italian, right? Pinocchio?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Geppetto, that's a super Italian name, right?
Yeah. Pinocchio is a super Italian name.
I always get confused because the in Disney World they have a Pinocchio themed restaurant and it's called Pinocchio Village House, but it's like Haus, and that always reminds me of Germany, which is really, I don't know, it's weird. Huh. But they serve Italian food, so it is what it is.
Who does the voice of Jiminy Cricket?
I have no clue. That's an old actor.
No, in the new movie, who you want?
Oh, who would I want? Well, it's gotta be somebody with a cool voice.
Owen Wilson.
No. That's terrible. No, I want a grandfather type. Or not a grandfather.
Boring.
No, a grandfather for Geppetto. No, Jiminy Cricket, he's the conscience, he's the voice of reason. So I need
Freeman?
maybe Morgan Freeman. I mean, he's got a great voice.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who has a good spirited voice. Someone whose voice I just enjoy listening to.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. I mean, he's British.
He did Smog.
It's
similar. Jiminy Cricket, Smog.
That is true. Nathan Fillion.
Nathan.
Yeah, that should be pretty cool. I was actually thinking of the relationship between Hellboy and the father figure.
Yeah.
I feel like they got that so well. I feel like if they just translated that sort of relationship over to Geppetto Pinocchio, I think they've got a masterful movie right there.
I'm really curious. Yeah, this is really interesting, and it's cool that it's not gonna be Disneyified. No offense to Disney and what they do. They make great stuff, but I want to see something that's not necessarily. Yeah, I want to see a little darker take, not necessarily horror, but and Del Toro's.
Of course, I mean the story of Pinocchio is dark. Yeah. It really is. Even the Disney film is kind of dark.
Yeah. And what's good about this is Del Toro likes to use practical stuff.
Yeah.
So that's going to be really interesting if it looks like Pan's Labyrinth, just with Pinocchio.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, so that's really cool.
It's definitely on my, my most anticipated for, things coming out now.
Yeah.
Still waiting on that Haunted Mansion movie, though, Guillermo.
And the Cthulhu movie, right?
Yeah. think that's still in development, though. That's probably more in a possibility of being developed than Haunted Mansion at this time. Mm-hmm. Okay, so next up on the movie news, the Wonder Woman 2 writer, David Callahan, is apparently working on an unspecified Marvel movie. So, I don't know if I'm familiar with any of David Callahan's work. And Wonder Woman 2 hasn't come out yet.
You said he wrote a few episodes of The Office, right?
No, that was a different dude. That was Brett Riker or something like that.
Whatever.
Anyway, whatever. So I'm not really familiar with his work, but there are a lot of untitled Marvel movies that are slated. You know, Marvel always likes to have their lineup.
They have like a general outline at least.
So it's going to be one of those. I guess we'll keep you guys updated as we learn more about it, because unfortunately there's not much I can say about that at the time.
Just that he's on. They're making more movies.
Yeah.
Which
Marvel's doing stuff.
They're making more movies and stuff that's not even titled yet. So
who'd have thunk it? The Boba Fett movie has been officially canceled, which kind of sucks, but
that's because of the show, though, The Mandalorian.
Yeah, I think it was partly to I think two large reasons. One, they have the Jon Favreau Mandalorian show coming out, which I think maybe could tie in Boba Fett. I'm not quite sure what's going on with that, but I feel like maybe they don't want to oversaturate the bounty hunter.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, like that, the theme of the bounty hunter of Star Wars. And I think, too, I think it really all goes back to the poor box office performance for Solo.
Yeah.
Even though I really enjoyed Solo, and pretty much everybody I've spoken to has enjoyed it as well, I think what they did was they kind of, for lack of a better term, I'll reuse oversaturation. Too many Star Wars films came out within like a couple years,
Yeah, and I just don't think they were good enough to warrant that much, or like different enough. Where with the Marvel movies, we get a bunch of them, but they're all like different slices of different cakes, even though it's like there's continuity. It's like each movie feels, Ant-Man and Wasp felt way different than Infinity War did, and Black Panther, whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, I would definitely say that I feel like they went in super hard and heavy with The Force Awakens, and they saw how well that did, that they're like, oh man, this movie made us so much money, we're going to make more Star Wars movies, and then they killed the market, I feel like. So it's good to hear that they're kind of slowing down. I kind of wish we were still getting the Boba Fett movie, because I still think that's a cool character, but hopefully we'll see the storyline maybe come into play somewhere along the lines of in The Mandalorian.
Yeah, I would say they would be really remiss to just exclude Boba Fett out of a Mandalorian show, like any mention of him.
Yeah,
yeah. Like,
even just like something. The Fett name,
Right.
Because like it's the family name. You got Jango, you got Boba. So I feel like if they mentioned the Fett at some point, I think there's always room.
Yeah, there's a Fett around somewhere.
So speaking of which, that Mandalorian show is going to be on Disney Play, and segue, we got some Disney Play stuff. So if you're not aware of what Disney Play is, it's going to be their new streaming service. It finally got a name.
Yeah, every media company needs a streaming service.
I know.
Now.
Speaking of oversaturation, that market is getting oversaturated.
Tell me about it.
But unfortunately, Disney looks like it's going to be one I'm going to have to buy. Because there's so much good stuff coming onto it.
Yeah, I'm done with Netflix pretty much once the Disney stuff comes out.
Yeah, we'll talk about my issues with Netflix later on.
Yeah.
But as of now, a couple weeks back we spoke about the Scarlet Witch and Loki miniseries that were coming to the Disney Play streaming service. Yeah. And so we've gotten a bit more news on that. Apparently, it's being reported that the Vision is going to be a large part of the Scarlet Witch series.
Yes.
So that's really cool.
That's very good news.
I know that you were really interested in seeing more of their love story, their connection.
Yeah, I think when we first were talking about that, I mentioned the fact that we didn't get to see enough of that in Infinity War, and that was some of the best parts of the movie for me, especially because I know the relationship they have from the comics and whatnot. So,
right.
It's getting to see Paul Bettany. He's just amazing as the Vision. Yeah. And what's her face, Olsen. She's great as the Scarlet Witch too.
Can't remember her first name, but Elizabeth
Olsen. Yeah. She's great as well, and more of that relationship expanding on that, maybe if it's before Infinity War, just showing what they were doing or something. That's really cool.
Yeah, I feel like this is definitely going to be a prequel. Same as the Loki show. Considering events that happened in Infinity War. Okay, so, and then adding on to that, apparently it was also reported, you brought this to my attention, that they're making a Winter Soldier and Falcon limited series.
Yes.
Which, that is super cool for me.
I think we were also talking about, I think every time we talk about Mario, we talk about Winter Soldier and Falcon and how they go off each other, and it's just so great when they were in the car.
Yeah, they have a good little back and forth.
It's the fight to be Cap's best friend.
Yeah, I love it. No, I absolutely love it. And doing some kind of almost like a buddy cop, buddy road trip type of movie, type of TV show. That would be super cool. Really excited about that. It's giving me between The Mandalorian and all these Marvel miniseries that they're doing, I have no choice but to I think get a Disney Play subscription.
Yeah, just to start off, why wouldn't you, if it's has all that stuff, give it a shot at least.
Not to mention the back catalog of other Disney stuff that I'm sure be a super fan of.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Let's talk. All right, so while we're on the streaming services, let's talk about Luke Cage was canceled. We didn't report about it last week because we did the whole Halloween commentary. It took up pretty much the entirety of our time. So let's talk about Netflix and what they're calling the Thanos snap of Netflix properties. Because we lost Iron Fist and we lost Luke Cage pretty much I think the week after. Yeah. And then it was just I was just told that American Vandal was also canceled, which honestly I think I'm most upset about that one. American Vandal was probably my top 3 Netflix shows. I loved it.
From what I've heard, is it's being shopped around in other places.
I have heard that as well. Which
someone's got to pick that up.
Yeah.
Amazon, get on that.
Yeah, Amazon, Hulu, flipping, I don't care. Whatever. I'll watch. What's this NBC one? They have the one for Star Trek or something?
They do, I don't know. College Humor. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just get on
YouTube Red.
Yeah.
Somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody get on that.
Yeah, American Vandal is great.
Crunchyroll. It's not even an anime. Just get it.
Yeah, I still need to finish Season 2.
Oh, Season 2 is so good.
Yeah.
If you couldn't tell by my reaction, American Vandal on Netflix, go watch that. It'll change your life. It's so good.
Yeah.
So, all right, enough of me gushing about American Vandal. Let's talk about Luke Cage. Let's talk about Iron Fist. What do you think happened here?
Well, from other reports that I've been hearing they even said it's not the last of their characters, which, from what I'm assuming that means we're going to get a Heroes for Hire show.
So, yeah, that's the better of the 2 scenarios.
Yeah, the best case scenario is they get the team up, and that's what they're going to do.
I think the worst case scenario would be if they only came back for the Defenders.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a thing too. Maybe if they're ending this whole Marvel Netflix deal, I don't know how much we're getting. If is Punisher season 2 going to be the last? Maybe a Defenders after that.
Yeah, I can't wait for Punisher.
I heard they're also doing a Jessica Jones season 3 as well, and we haven't heard any talk about that show or Daredevil getting canceled. And from all I've heard about Daredevil season 3, I haven't seen it yet, unfortunately, but it's getting like great reviews.
I started watching it. I'm really enjoying it so far.
Yeah.
It's almost like it reminds me very much of the Batman, the Dark Knight trilogy.
Okay.
Where Batman Begins is very similar to Daredevil season 1. I think the Dark Knight was very similar to Daredevil season 2. And I think Rise is very similar to Daredevil season 3.
Hopefully in the good ways.
In the good ways, yeah. No. Because it's kind of like Daredevil after this isn't really spoiling anything, but essentially he's alive after the events that happened in the Defenders, and he pretty much has to come back to being Daredevil. Yeah. And it's like a comeback story, essentially. Yeah. And it's told really well, and I love how snarky he is in the first couple episodes because he's pretty much just pissed off at the world.
Yeah.
And it's honestly really great. The dialogue is super funny, and I can't wait to watch the rest of it.
Yeah, I gotta get on that.
Yeah, unfortunately I was finishing up The Haunting of Hill House, which I think I'll talk about more in the main Geeklirious episode. I don't want to take up too much time, but very good as well. Haunting of Hill House.
Okay.
Yeah. So, hopefully we get that Hero for Hire show. That's the team up of Luke Cage and Iron Fist.
Yeah, I just want to see this. Like, it's okay if it concludes, it ends Marvel and Netflix. As long as there's a good conclusion to the whole, at least the whole Daredevil story arc, because he's the main hero in that universe. As long as there's like a good closure with him, then I'm okay.
I agree.
But yeah, Heroes for Hire. I'm hoping they do that.
Gotta do it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So last of the streaming service news, we got our first look at Henry Cavill as Geralt in the Witcher series for Netflix.
Yes.
I thought he looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't just look like Superman with gray hair. He looked really good. I wish he had some more facial hair. Because he was pretty baby face.
Yeah, but Geralt doesn't really do the facial. Well, I guess he.
I think it would make.
Does.
I know that the character doesn't. I just think it would add more gruff to him because Cavill is very young looking.
Yeah, well, we don't know if this is supposed to be.
That's true. It could be a prequel.
Version.
It could be, yeah.
Yeah, we don't know if it's like Witcher 3 where he's older.
Well, if they're doing like younger version, then that's fine. But I just think he has a very he has baby face.
Yeah.
So I think maybe some makeup or some facial hair could I think really make him look a bit more distinguished.
Possibly, yeah. You're right. I don't really. I didn't like the way it really looked either, but it's just like such a short clip. You don't really get to see much. So
yeah.
I'm hoping in action and stuff it looks a little better. But yeah.
Cool.
Like he looked a little too clean and stuff.
Yeah.
Like in The Witcher. Yeah. Like I'm sure he'll be rough and dirty and all that stuff when in the show. So yeah.
Agreed. All right, and last but not least, today, well, I guess yesterday, as of the day this goes out, Nintendo did their Treehouse, and they announced a lot of big news about the new Super Smash Bros. Game. But the main thing I really want to get into is the 3 new playable characters that they announced. So, first one, I'm just going to get this one out of the way because I'm
Master
not really
Chief.
Not Master Chief. That would be pretty interesting, though.
Tony Hawk?
Tony Hawk would be the best.
Imagine just doing a 900 on Mario's ass.
Oh, that'd be so great. All of his moves would just be like spinning his board around and stuff.
Just grinding on Yoshi's freaking tail.
That'd be so great.
Yeah.
So we've got I really hope this is how you pronounce it. Incineroar.
It's a stupid Pokemon name.
It's
you
a
don't
Pokemon.
have to be super correct.
And I don't know this Pokemon because I stopped playing Pokemon a while back. So we're getting into Pokemon which I've never heard of before. I've literally never heard of Incineroar before.
Seems to be a newer one.
But it looks kind of like a red thing. And apparently he's like wrestling based. So maybe he just like drops legs on people and hits them with steel chairs. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but
Pokemon's elbow.
He's a fire type Pokemon, judging by the red skin and the name that's kind of like Incinerator.
So he's like Kane.
Dude, yeah, the devil's favorite demon. He choke slamming bitches. So yeah, that's interesting. I don't really care about him too much. Maybe he'll be. I'm sure I'll like to play as him at the very least.
B-Dome, do you know Incineroar, the Pokemon?
Incineroar, yeah. The new character announced for the Smash.
Yeah, you know him.
Is he cool?
Yeah, he's pretty cool. He's like I think it's like a fire wrestler cat or something.
Yo, that's literally what I just said.
Yeah.
I said, judging by the red skin and name that sounds like Incinerator, I'm assuming he's fire type.
Yeah, no, he's definitely fire type, and I'm pretty sure he's a wrestler, and I think it's a cat, if I'm not mistaken.
Awesome. All right, so we got a wrestling fire cat coming to Smash Brothers.
That sounds cool. Better than the 20th Fire Emblem character.
Oh my god. Well, you did hear they added Isabelle, right? The stupid like secretary from Animal Crossing.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that a playable character?
As a playable character, yeah.
Oh my lord.
And what does she do?
She's like a puppy or something. I don't even know. Dude, I don't play Animal Crossing. Anyway, the other two playable characters, we got Ken from Street Fighter, who is just going to be a shadow clone of...
Because they have Ryu already, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they do.
So it's just going to be a clone of Riku.
Riku?
I'm sorry, Riku. Ryu. I got Kingdom Hearts on the brain, apparently. Ryu. So we've got the white ninja, and then we got the orange ninja, and there you go. But Ken does have the better theme song, so...
What do you think?
I mean, I'm a big fan of Ryu's theme song, but Ken does have an intense theme song. My favorite, honestly, I'm gonna go with Cammy. I think Cammy's theme is the greatest of all, but...
Oh, man. Yeah. We're gonna have to do, like, a poll. Like, what's the best Street Fighter song? I think it's Ken.
A lot of people are gonna pick Ken and Guile. Those are the big...
See, I like Guile's, but I honestly think, like, out of the most popular Street Fighter, like, songs, I think his is not as good as, like, Ryu? I always call him Ryu.
Yeah, I think it's Ryu, but it doesn't matter.
So, yeah, I always think Ken's my favorite, Ryu's very good, and also, super underrated, Vega.
Vega's theme is really good. It's like that little like Spanish type thing.
Little Latin. Yeah, it's
thing.
dope.
You hear,
it's dope.
Little maracas in the background. Yeah, the Vega's is pretty cool too.
Yeah, he's good.
Okay, so Vega wins. They should have added Vega.
Thanks, B-Dome.
No problem.
I feel like Vega would have been a better character to have in there anyways.
Oh, Vega would have been so cool. But, yeah, I'm just excited for the theme song.
And who else?
So the last one was the most shocking, in my opinion, of all of them. Was Piranha Plant from Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
So it's literally like the potted piranha plant.
Yeah.
It's kind of ridiculous. I don't know why, but I guess we'll see how it plays. I'm assuming he maybe just hops around in the pot because it doesn't walk, right?
He lets the enemies come to him.
I know, it's weird. Like, he'll be like... There's actually a couple of, like, fighters now that are, like, primarily in vehicles. Like, Baby Bowser is in a vehicle.
Yeah.
And
Bowsette?
Is she in the game?
Maybe.
I don't know. They had, like, a bunch... I remember in, I think Mario Kart, you can play as a bunch of different versions of the Baby Bowsers, the Bowser kids. Like, Lemmy and Morty or something.
Yeah, cause,
anyway.
Okay.
Anywho.
Well, maybe he'll grow on you.
Ha! Ha ha! And with that, I think that's it for Geekly News.
Bad puns always end our episodes.
Bad puns. Well, that about does it for this week's edition of the Geekly News.
Yes, thanks for joining us this week.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. And as always, Monday, stay tuned for another episode of Geeklirious. It's going to be episode 49.
Yeah, and don't eat any already opened candy.
Yeah. And if you find any candy laced with pot. You can send them to Geeked
to
Up.
our P.O. box.
P.O. I always thought that was so funny. Like they have those like news articles like, "Hey, watch out! There might be marijuana laced in your kid's candy." It's like, ain't no drug dealer giving away their stash to kids randomly.
Yeah.
Like, that's not happening.
Yeah, I saw someone on Reddit. He had like a picture of like a Twix bar, and there was like a nug, like right in the middle of it.
Got a little extra surprise in my Halloween candy this year.
Yeah. With that said and done,
yeah,
we will see you for our Geeklirious episode.
Absolutely. Goodbye, Halloween. Hello, Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Bye.